What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Rave Hackers channel. Happy 2022. I literally can't believe that that's a thing already, but hello, welcome back. My name is Summer. I am Rave Hackers, and today I'm super excited. We are going to be starting the new year off with an amazing topic, which is all about quick music festival recovery. I felt like as everybody's starting to gear up and get ready for this year's festival season, it is going to be so important that you all are taking care of your body and making sure that you're nourishing it back to health so that you can keep going to festivals every weekend. So if you haven't yet, go grab your drinks. I'm going to grab mine and then we'll dive in. All right, like I mentioned earlier, today's topic is going to be all about music festival recovery. So for those of you that have been to a music festival, you know how easy it can be to go to a festival for 4 days and then before you know it, you're back to your normal life and you don't feel quite as great and you're just really trying to recover while, you know, still trying to live your normal day-to-day life, whether that's going to class or whether that's going to work. We all have different things that we're trying to, you know, bounce back and recover for. These are my tried and trusted methods for recovering and bouncing back literally like the next day. I work a corporate job. Even before then, I was working 2 jobs and I needed to make sure that whenever I came back from these long weekends that A, my managers weren't trying to inquire too much as to why I looked so terrible, and B, wanted to figure out, you know, how do I keep myself feeling productive and still being able to contribute to my day-to-day life without feeling like I've lost an entire week because I've been recovering. So I'm gonna share my favorite tips and tricks, and the best part is these are really easy. They're not things that are gonna really take up a lot of your time or really be like a money suck. These are all what I have found have made me feel better after I've been, you know, out at the festival grounds for 4 days and I'm, you know, coming back to real life. All right, so the first one up on my list is rest. I know that this seems kind of counterintuitive or just like a dumb summer moment, but I've found that taking the day off after the festival, if I'm able to, really does set the pace for how quickly I'm able to start recovering. So if you're able to take the day off after the festival, if you're able to start your recovery off the right way and really get the ball moving quick, then it won't be so hard for you to bounce back that week. But I've found when I force myself to rush into work, I'm not as productive because I still haven't given myself that opportunity to even really start the recovery phase. All right, so next one up on my list, number 2, is going to be balancing your brain chemistry. So for those of you that have been to festivals, it is really easy for you to find yourself really out of whack when you get back, you know, regardless of what you decide that you're gonna do while you're at the event. Even if you're only just drinking for 4 days, it does take a toll on your body and on your brain chemistry, which is why I tell you to give yourself an opportunity to start rebalancing. One of my favorite things about this step is that it does usually require me getting to eat some of my favorite foods. That there are foods that are going to quickly help you aid in rebalancing your brain chemistry. I found over the years and through some of my own personal research that some help better than others. If you're interested in hearing a little bit more about that, you can head over to my Instagram. I will put it over here for you guys. I do share some of my favorite tips and tricks for that quick recovery process and some of the foods and processes that I take in general to just start recovery. But I also share some of my favorite coaches that also help me get my mind and body moving again so that I'm feeling back in that tip-top shape that I know I need to be in for the coming week. I always like to go for a walk. That way you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can get some vitamin C from the sunshine, and then you can also get your blood oxygenated and get yourself moving again. So I don't know about you, but you know, after an event, I know that some people can feel really sad. I think that the reality of coming back to the real world can be a little harsh. So it's always nice to kind of balance that serotonin in your brain. The great news is that, again, there are some really good foods that will help you balance that brain chemistry. So I've got them written down here, which is why you see me looking down. But they are turkey, eggs, nut butter, apples, blueberries, and pineapples. Side note that these are not the only options. These are just ones that I personally like and find are really easy to eat when I'm feeling low energy or when I'm still kind of trying to get through that recovery process after an event. So I always recommend to focus on your body and your mind first because your mind does take the longest to start that recovery process. So the quicker that you can start balancing that brain chemistry, the quicker that you will actually start to feel like you're getting back to your normal self. But once you get your mind underway, it's time to focus on your body. So like I mentioned earlier and kind of hinted at, blood flow is gonna help your body and your muscles start to repair themselves internally. You know, going for walks, stretching, yoga, those are some of my favorite things to do after an event. They're not really hard work, and so I feel like it's more relaxing for me to do those things and kind of gives me an opportunity to think more inwardly and kind of decompress from whatever event I've recently been to. So like I said, yoga is one of my favorites. Yoga with Adriene is one of my favorite yoga instructors here on YouTube that does some really great different yoga classes and like YouTube videos. I highly recommend her. You can find all different kinds of things, you know, if your back is hurting, if you want to do some chakra flows. She's really diverse and she's got really great energy, so definitely make sure you go and check her out. I will put a link to her channel up here for you guys just so that you can quickly head over there. So the other thing that I always like to mention is an Epsom salt bath. When I am feeling really sore or when I'm feeling kind of just like gross and like I need to like detox, I like to get in the tub and I will just do a big Epsom soak bath. I found that this just kind of helps me start to feel a little bit better. I know that Epsom salts are really good for pulling out toxins from your body. They're also really good for inflammation and for helping your muscles relax, which that's kind of the goal here. So I do recommend them if you're able to do that. For those of you that don't have a tub, there is another way that you can go about doing this. It's not as relaxing per se, but it does kind of give you the same experience in terms of trying to relax you and pull some of those toxins out of your body. So you can always just get a really big bowl of water, make it really hot, put some Epsom salts in it, and then you can soak your hands and your feet. That is going to start to get your blood flow moving again as well, which is also really important here. All right, so the next one, number 4, is going to be rehydration. So I know that this seems kind of like a duh one as well, but regardless of how much you really drink at a festival, you are going to come out of that event dehydrated in some way. My biggest tip is to always stop and get extra waters when you are on your way home from the event. You know, a couple extra dollars here and there for some water along the way is gonna really help you start to kind of like give your body that chance to start to decompress and start to kind of like replenish what it's lost over that 4 or 5 day event that you've been away at. The nice thing that I like about this is that you can grab the like extra large water bottles, which I personally like. I feel like if I'm gonna buy a water bottle, I wanna get as much water out of it as I can. So I do get the big ones. And then I also try and get things that have electrolytes in them. You can get them from a couple different drinks. I'm personally an OG Gatorade person. For those of you that are migraine prone, I definitely recommend that you always get the blue Gatorade of some sort. There is scientifically been proven somehow that blue Gatorade will actually help relieve migraines. So just side tip, pro tip. But yes, I'm a Gatorade person. I will get probably 2 or 3 Gatorades and 2 or 3 big bottles of water for me and my fiance to share so that we can just drink that the whole way home and we're not tempted to stop and get like sodas or anything like that. We really just want to focus on getting liquids back into our bodies. All right, so the last one that I want to mention, and I do mention this as kind of a do your research. It is an option that should be explored if it's something that you really want to explore. So the last one that I have is supplements. I don't really take a lot of supplements. I'm not a medicine person. I am not a supplements person. I don't like taking pills. It's just not how I usually am. But there are those events that do tend to hit me harder than others, or if I do get sick after an event, I will take some supplements just to help myself bounce back a little bit sooner. So I personally really love B12 supplements. I've found for those that have a serotonin deficiency or who make an over amount of adrenaline, which is where I fall into, this is something that will really help those synapses in your mind and keep you from getting like headaches and just kind of help balance your brain chemistry a little bit more. If you are interested in supplements, you can always reach out to a nutritionist. You can reach out to the people at GNC. They're really nice. But just do your research. Make sure that, you know, whatever you're taking is safe. Don't just take anything, and don't just take whatever other people at an event are taking, because what works for you, as I've said, is not going to always work for other people. So just be very conscious, be very aware. There are things that can help you bounce back, but there are things that could hurt you more than can help you if you're not aware of what they are and how they mix and react with other things. So that's kind of my tangent. I know, like I said, again, I am not a nutritionist. I am not a dietetics person. You know, these are just things that I've found really work well for me. I've done my own research. I've gone online. You know, everybody nowadays has a Google degree. And you know, like I said, I found that these work really well for me. These should just be a jumping off point for you. Clearly some of them are more common sense than others, like always drink water, XYZ. But you get the picture. So there it is. I hope that you guys really liked the video. I am so happy to be back on here. If you did, please drop a comment and like down below just so that I know you guys are getting to see this content. And if you have some of your own recovery tips, share them with me. I love to hear what people do to help themselves bounce back. I've heard of some really awesome things that you guys have done, so drop them in the comments below. As always, content comes out every Sunday. I am a festival and rave content creator, so make sure that if you have questions, put them below. I am always here. I respond to everything.